Sorry about the noise in the background, nothing I can do about it. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I despise streaming. This has been going on now twice. It will play the video completely fine for a little while, and then it'll just start buffering again. And I just want to record how long the buffering takes. Now, before this video really gets long, I want to say that I have gigabit internet. I have the internet to facilitate streaming. And yet, I get this on a constant daily basis. It is really fucking annoying. Streaming is supposed to be the superior option. Streaming is supposed to be better than cable. And yet, this is what we get. Every single time. Every single day. Without fail. Buffering, app crashing, and prices going through the roof. Even more than in cable. I don't know why my parents refuse to go back to cable, because streaming is just garbage. And I have a whole separate computer dedicated for streaming. I'm not even using a little shitty cable box. That little Optiplex you see underneath my monitor is what I'm using for streaming. It may not be the most powerful system in the world, but for streaming, it's more than sufficient. And yet, it does this constantly. So now I gotta figure out how exactly I'm going to mount this camera so you can see how long it takes for this streaming crap to go, for this buffering crap to go away. How do I want to do this? Trying to look for something in my room without having to move the cell phone that much. Let's do this. God, can stuff stay still for once? Alright, that should more or less work. Oh, and of course, there it goes. It finally freaking stopped buffering. So, before I actually continue on with the video, give me a second. It was already buffering about maybe 2 minutes prior to me actually hitting the record button on my phone. So, you can imagine how annoying this can be. So, with that said, let me actually show you that I do in fact have gigabit internet, so give me a second. Alright, and that. Now, as of right now, I'm not getting my full gigabit. I don't know why that is. But even still, This is more than sufficient internet for streaming. So let me get a speed test set up. Alright, let's see what speed test says. Yeah, speed test is more accurate. So as you can tell, I have more than sufficient internet for streaming. And yet, it's nothing but a constant buffering, no matter what I do. And again, I'm using a computer here. I'm not using some little shitty streaming box. This thing smokes streaming boxes. And yet, as you saw, I have buffering issues. So I'm going to relaunch Netflix again, and yeah. I meant Hulu, sorry. So, at least when I went to hit the live like I normally do, it started playing completely fine as it should, though it is very not in 1080p like it should be. Then again, I shouldn't expect anything less from streaming services. Fucking streaming services. So, I'll come back when it starts buffering again. This time it's nothing but a black screen. No buffering animation, no nothing. And no, the computer didn't go to sleep because, well, the screen itself is still on. So let's see what happens when I hit the exit key again. Of fucking course! It goes right back to playing completely fine. So now I gotta go back and manually put it back into full screen mode again. This is the worst. Well, not the worst I've had it, but this is bad. Again, I got gigabit internet. And this computer, it may not be the most powerful system in the world. It's using a Pentium dual core. And I believe it also has 8 gigs of RAM and a GT 1030. But for streaming, this is complete overkill. My little garbage phone from 2015 can handle streaming far better than well, my stupid phone from 2015 can do streaming also. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but still. The reason why I'm not using my phone is because, well, I don't really have a phone that supports screen mirroring that I'm willing to sacrifice for streaming services. Especially considering I shouldn't be forced to use a cell phone for streaming services in the first place if I just want to have it to where I just have it as white noise and just occasionally unmute it to hear what's going on. Streaming services are so busted and garbage that they can't even play the fucking ad. I have this stupid little ad symbol here, which you really can't see due to the way cameras work, but it's supposed to be playing an ad right now, and yet it's not. Oh, of course, if I hit the exit button on my keyboard and bring it out full screen, then it plays the ad completely fine. Why are we even using streaming services in the first place? They're nothing but incompetent. And hell, my parents end up having to spend basically the same amount for streaming content than just getting standard old cable that would actually be consistent. Hey, guess what? It's doing it again. Fucking hell. And now it's back to normal again. I think at this point I need to maybe put Windows 7 back on this. The reason why I have Windows 10 on here is for HDR, since my Acer monitor is HDR compatible, but it's really not necessary. But yeah. And not just a few more hours later, it is doing it yet again. Again, I have gigabit internet. I'm using a fairly competent computer. And yet, it's still doing this. I fucking hate streaming. Well, it took another day or so, but it started doing it again. I fucking hate streaming. Again, I have gigabit internet. Why is it doing this? Alright, I decided to upgrade my desktop to Windows 7. Hopefully it will actually be more consistent. I think it was when I was originally using this for streaming. The only reason why I put Windows 10 on this originally was so I can have HDR support for my monitor. But really none of the shows I watch even are in HDR in the first place, so it's kind of a waste. But hopefully Windows 7 is going to be more stable. I think it should. Alright, here's where I'm going to cut the video. I just spent 30 minutes trying to log into Hulu. Every single time it said the verification code was wrong. And yet it was accurate every single fucking time. Obviously, for security reasons, I'm not showing the verification codes or me signing in for very obvious reasons. This is why I do not like streaming. Yes, I am spurging out right now. Yes, I am raging. And it's very simple why. If streaming services are supposed to be the superior option, they're supposed to be better than cable. They're supposed to be better in every single way possible. I should be able to log in through my father's Hulu account that we have that we have for the house. We have 3 little separate accounts inside the main Hulu account for my father, me, and my mother. If streaming services were better, I should be able to log in on this computer and continue on where I left off. But no, verification code wrong every single fucking time. Fuck streaming services.